Inside the NBA is presented by Kia. Here we are in Studio J in Atlanta. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, and Charles Barkley. 3 games on the schedule. Highlights are ahead. And we will start with the game that just concluded out there in the Pacific Northwest. Dallas Mavericks and the Portland Trail Blazers, and Luka Doncic.
Luka
announced an all-star starter, and then he comes out and scores 16 points in the first quarter.
Well deserved.
Yes, indeed.
When we thought Porzingis was out, he played well tonight. Got to give him props.
Oh, yeah. Man, look at that play. You can't jump high as that ball.
3-point field goals. Definitely a story in this game.
You notice one thing about these threes, they're all wide open.
Dallas was 22 for 47 from out there in the game.
Because they're probably trying to block the paint.
Block the paint.
Got him. You know how coaches always say, run back to the paint.
8 different Mavs hit threes in this game.
You ever have a coach like that, Kenny?
Yeah, that's
Run back to the paint. Oh.
And here, everybody in Dallas holds their breath momentarily as
never turned.
Doncic tweaks the right ankle. He would go to the bench for a while and get some treatment on that thing.
Oh,
Man, I think
damn.
Who he played for?
Got them pogo sticks, man.
Yeah, Maxi Kleba.
Get that white side.
At the half, 78 to 63, Dallas on the
Oh,
road.
Curry.
Look at
Oh.
that.
Oh.
And then Doncic.
Nice.
He looks strong out there, Kenny.
he got a great body.
No, he is strong.
He's
strong.
Physical.
Yeah, he's got a great
Finds the contact instead of waits for the contact. He finds it.
Mavs up 25.
Oh,
and
my
then
God.
Dame and the Blazers go on a 17 to nothing run.
Appreciate you, Dame.
When you down, when you go on a 17 to nothing run and you're
Hello.
still down 15, it's not good.
Lillard 47 on the night.
Yeah.
In the same week that he had 61 on
Porzingis
TNT
comes back.
the other night.
Porzingis played well
Look at
tonight.
that, just logo action there from Porzingis.
6 for 11. Nice, Porzingis.
Doncic,
Oh, strong.
pass, 27, 6, and 9. And the Dallas Mavericks, winners in Portland, 133 to 125. Dallas is 28 and 16. They're 5 wins shy of their total from a year ago.
What in the world happened to my Trailblazers?
Well, they're 19 and 27 and have lost 11 of their last 16. One bright spot. Lillard had the big game of Ariza in his debut.
I
with
think
Portland.
that's a good pickup, but
Yeah.
man, it's too little, too late.
Ariza had 21. His high in 32 games with Sacramento was 18. And Blazer fans,
You think they're going to get better when Nurkic gets back?
Well, they're gonna get better when nurses come back. The problem is they got so far to climb. Like, how high do you think they can get?
that's a question for you. How high do you think they can get?
I think they can barely. Well, first of all, they got to.
8 is it. They can't get 7. They're not going to catch Sacramento.
That's the problem.
they're not
Even
gonna
In
get
Oklahoma City?
Oklahoma City.
Even when Nurkic comes back,
I say 8.
they can get 7 or 8, but that's still
7, they're not going to catch. They're 6 games over, 7 games over 500.
19 and 27
Oklahoma-
in the 10
They're not
spot.
going to catch 7.
Oklahoma City is
8.
26 and 19. They're not going to catch them.
well,
They're not going to have a collapse.
they're not. The highest they can get is 8, and then LeBron's going to put them out there misery in the first round of the playoffs.
Easy as that. Lakers, meantime, showing the way at 36 and 9. How about the way Utah's been playing? 31 and 13.
I told you earlier, I think other than the Lakers and the Clippers, Utah might be the 3rd best team in the West.
I have a question for you then, Chip.
Yes, sir.
At one point in the year, you said Utah's a disappointment.
They playing, but they've won.
No, I'm not saying
they
you
went on
were
that
right.
winning
You
streak.
were right. But what do you think was the difference?
You know, it's so funny you asked me that question because I've watched them play 5 or 6 times because they actually played better without Mike Conley. That's and you know how much I love Mike Conley.
He's had a couple of good games off the bench.
He has, but dude, see, so that's the interesting dynamic. They brought him in to be a starter, but he hadn't played great. But they went on that 10, 11 game winning streak when he was out. So
Maybe
now
they found their rhythm
so
without him, and now he could just join that rhythm.
But as an Ernie question, if they've won like 12 out of 13 somewhere like that, do you put him back in the starting lineup?
No.
Or do you keep him coming off the bench?
Keep him coming off the bench right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, but who's the most dangerous team in the West? I'm gonna give you my answer. Denver.
Other than
Nuggets.
I know he's not going to believe. He's not going to
the most
agree with
dangerous
that one.
team in the
Denver
West?
Nuggets, yes.
Oh,
I'm gonna
no,
tell
it's that'd be the Utah Jazz.
I'm gonna tell you why, because Denver really hasn't been playing well, and they're still fourth in the column. Like they've been going.
Well,
up and
listen,
down.
I told you
once
last
they
week,
figure it
Shaq,
out, once they figure it out, I think they're gonna be real dangerous.
Well, what's scary is with all the load management and injuries to Paul George, the Clippers still are only one game for having the second best record in the West. Like they they got all these injuries. Beverly's been out, and they still got the one game.
and if they beat
Utah, by the way,
the
won
Hawks last night,
13 out of 14,
went to that game.
18 out of 20.
18 out of 20. And think about that, Shaq. They've won 18 out of 20, and they only got a half a game lead over the Clippers.
Yeah.
If the Clippers, quietly, Kawhi Leonard has been great. He scored 30 in 6 straight games. He is balling right now.
Dallas, meantime, 28-16 now. So how much of a threat are the Mavs? This is not a team. This is not a team you want that you're lining up to play.
They're not a threat, Ernie. Stop it.
they're not a threat for who?
Anybody.
I think
Not
they
even
are.
the first round.
No,
The first round.
That's what I'm saying. You're not lining up to play the Dallas Mavericks in the first round of the playoffs.
First of all, if you're
Denver Nuggets right now, Denver Nuggets, Dallas, and the Mavericks.
Dallas
Mavericks are better. I would put mine on the Dallas
I'd
Mavericks.
probably take Denver in that series.
the factor is going to be Porzingis.
Don't question.
He played well tonight. If he can
His
do
health.
20 every night like this, they'll be
If he's
fine.
healthy, Shaq,
Yes.
he will get 20
Yes.
every night.
Yeah.
He is
but let's
a
be
unicorn.
real.
He's difficult to guard. He's got shooting from the freaking hash
Shaq.
mark, and he's driving off the dribble. And
Shaq
dunking.
and Kenneth.
He's a unicorn.
Can't believe somebody named their kid Kenneth.
I don't know about that.
Might as
either,
well be
Wade.
named Henry.
What's wrong with
What's wrong with that?
I don't.
It's just certain names.
Henry Aaron.
Come on, man. Stop it.
Something wrong with
You didn't name your kid Henry.
Something wrong with
You
Henry
didn't name
Aaron?
your kid.
Something wrong with Henry
Aaron's one
Aaron?
of the greatest men ever. Now, I ain't going to talk bad about Hammer and Hank.
Okay, what about Henry Ford?
Henry Aaron.
Henry Ford. He the car guy?
Oh no, the other Henry Ford.
The car guy.
Hey, well, Ernie, let me ask you this since you want to call me out on my pick. Do you think right now we're going to be in L.A. for a week between the Lakers and the Clippers in the Western Conference Finals?
I had the Clippers going to the NBA Finals against Milwaukee.
But I'm saying in the Western Conference Finals, we're
I
covering
would think
this
there's a
year.
really good chance if it plays out that way. If they're 1-2 when the season ends, if they don't have to play each other before then.
Okay, that's all I'm
I think
saying.
there's a very good chance of that.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
That will be nice. We can stay at your house, Shaq. The little one.
Calabasas, let's do it, baby.
Let's stay at
Oh, we
the little
stay at
house.
Kenny's too.
Come on.
No.
Yeah, you don't want
He
to.
got all them badass kids be running around making noise.
Where do we come back?
London Malloy, don't worry about it. Don't call him Uncle Chuck.
Earlier tonight, we saw the Lakers score 75 in the first half and Brooklyn 70 in the first half. And Luka Doncic and the Mavs putting 78 on the board in Portland to lead by 15. Imagine you're the Blazers. You're shooting 56%. You're down by 15 after 24 minutes. American Express halftime report. Studio J here in Atlanta. Ernie Johnson, Kenny the Jet Smith, Charles Barkley, who's got a...
He's heated right now.
What are you heated about?
He's heated.
Are you heated?
Yes.
You can't, Ernie.
Is this directed at one of us?
No.
Okay.
I understand basketball. I made a pretty good living at it. Mm-hmm. I understand analytics, even though I'm not a big fan of analytics. But the numbers that these NBA teams are giving up, it's embarrassing and it's ridiculous. I mean, everybody can't get 120 points a night. The teams aren't that good. I'm looking at these standings. There's about 10 good teams in the NBA and about 20 that stink. But to be giving up 120, 30 points every single night, come on, man.
Or 77 at halftime. What is
Come on.
78.
78 at halftime.
Come on, man. And I know the Mavericks are a good offensive team. They're not 160. They don't pace for 160 points.
If
Come
they
on,
shoot
man.
the same way they are,
Check. Well,
because they're on fire right now.
it has nothing to do with on fire. The other team, first, and hey, listen, the other team's shooting 56%. If you're shooting 56% and you still gave up 8.5, that's got something to do with defense.
Good point.
The Luka Doncic, by the way, an all-star in his second season.
Well deserved.
And at the age of 20, the sixth youngest starter. Here's his story in the first half. He had 16 points
Got him.
in the first quarter.
That's a mismatch.
Yeah, but
And this is just great, great
He's
play.
strong right there.
I just feel that there's no continuity on the defense.
Hold on,
Come
hold
on,
on.
man. Hey, how about some help?
Nobody's coming in. They're coming late. But he's talented, without question.
Yeah, yeah.
He's an all-star. He's MVP candidate.
Touch him up right there, Whiteside.
Touch
Touch him up. Get out.
Touch
Smile.
him
Come
up.
on, man. Stop it.
16
Nah,
points in the
man,
first
I have to
quarter,
agree with Jack.
20 in the first half.
What'd you say, Kenny?
I have to agree with Chuck. I just the amount of
Every night.
the amount of points. We just saw a first game that gave up the most in what this year history. The game of this year, 77 and I think it was 70 at half when we watched the Lakers play Brooklyn. So we saw 100 between two teams score 70 and 77. Then we come back and back-to-back games.
This ain't the old style of basketball no more.
It's no sense all about putting a hand.
And